Well, well, well. Well, well, well. What do we got to talk about tonight? What do we have to talk about tonight? Hmm. We have to make something up, I guess, huh? Got our first comment. You're early. I wasn't expecting you for another hour. Well, I did not go. It's been an incredible day. It's been an absolutely incredible day. Absolutely incredible day. Very, very good. So you get to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can say what you want to say. This is your opportunity to talk to perhaps the Final Cut Pro team and other things. And my expectations were, below average. They're up to the mid level again, absolutely up to the mid level again. I have to say one thing about this as we get started. Today's presentation from the Final Cut Pro team, I've been to 7 of these live events. Today's presentation from the Final Cut Pro team was the best one they have ever done. It's for a lot of reasons, the aesthetics reasons. We got to go into a theater, a beautiful theater. It's like I can imagine it's like the mini version of the Steve Jobs Theater. It was just absolutely fantastic. So Neil says no auto titles, no text-based editing. Well, they have the caption thing, right? The caption thing's happening. This is Final Cut Pro 11.0. This is 11.0. The beginning of a new era of Final Cut Pro. They said that on stage. This is a brand new era of Final Cut Pro. A lot of this, there's a lot of things that require Sequoia. Be aware of that. Number one, make a backup copy of your version of Final Cut before you upgrade. Please, backup version of your version of Final Cut before you upgrade. That's one of the main things you want to do. First what? I'm not sure what that means. So does it deserve the title of Final Cut Pro 11? That's a good question. That's a good question. I would say the Final Cut Pro belongs to Apple, and Apple decides when to name things. It's certainly a good solid update. We always want more things, don't we? Always want more things? Yes, the answer is yes. I'll be right back. I have to do one thing real quick. That is completely a fair question. Does it deserve the title of Final Cut Pro 11? Based on a couple of factors, I'd say yes. But if you don't agree, I understand. I understand. So they said this is a new version of Final Cut, not just numerically, but I guess underpinnings and the foundation or whatever. It was phenomenal. Listen, I want to say this, and I mean it to the Final Cut Pro team because they do watch this. Phenomenal job today. You guys did a phenomenal, guys and gals did a phenomenal job with the presentation today. Beautiful theater. There was a build-up of anticipation. We were in the dark. It was like probably a mini Steve Jobs. I've never been in the Steve Jobs theater, but I can only imagine. It was like a mini Steve Jobs theater. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal job, Final Cut Pro team, because they do watch this live stream. I'm not, Eric, let's decide if that deserves a title of Final Cut Pro 11. The magnetic mask looks to be pretty darn sophisticated and simple at the same time. It looks to be really exceptionally good and valuable, and something that I definitely will be using. Interestingly, and I appreciate that they did this. it was the Vision Pro was the third thing listed. It was not the top thing listed, the Vision Pro editing. It was number 3. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's where it belongs. I just don't care about the Vision Pro editing in Final Cut, but I'm happy for those that want it. I'm happy for those that want it. I'm not saying that I don't want it in there. I'm just saying, for me, it's nothing I'm going to be doing. And that feature is nothing that I'm going to be interested in for years, perhaps. Any interesting comments from the Apple team? Yes. Yes. Now, this was said at the end of the presentation, and they didn't say we couldn't say anything. Okay, they didn't say that I remember. They didn't say that we couldn't say anything about it. It's now possible for Blackmagic to do B-roll support inside of Final Cut. It requires Sequoia. A lot of these updates to Final Cut Pro 11 requires Sequoia, the brand new operating system. But apparently B-roll is now going to be possible. I think Blackmagic has to do the actual implementation of it. So all these years, people have been saying B-roll, B-roll, B-roll. Well, apparently it's either coming, it's on the way, it can be done now. Isn't that big? People that wanted that all this time. So I don't know if that's in the release notes. We're going to go over the release notes. There's a couple of interesting things there that I noticed. Interesting comments. So that's one of the comments. That was at the very end. They said something about it, and they said the B-roll support because the plug-in architecture is now in the operating system or something like that. By the way, I'm using the Boya mic tonight. Now I'm going to do a test real quick. This is the Boya mic. Now I'm going to switch over to the MacBook Pro mic, and you tell me which one sounds better. I've been using the Boya mic all along now. I'm going to go back to the MacBook Pro mic to see if it sounds any better, louder, whatever. Okay, now this is the MacBook Pro mic. Is the audio better with the MacBook Pro mic, or is the audio better with the Boya mic, this mic right here? Maybe the MacBook Pro mic works well for the live streams. Maybe it does. I don't know for a fact. They were very tricky with us today. I'll tell you the things that I can tell you about the presentation. We couldn't take video. We couldn't take photographs. We weren't supposed to. And if we did, we aren't supposed to show them on social media. Let's just say that, okay? But they told us at the beginning, Logic Pro 11.1 came out, which has some really good features to it, solid features. This is a new version of Final Cut. Version 11 is this is the beginning of Final Cut Pro 11. It's no longer Final Cut Pro 10. It's Final Cut Pro 11. This is the beginning of Final Cut Pro 11. Okay, the very beginning. So that's one of the things. But they started the presentation. They did Logic. They did Final Cut on iPad. They did Logic on the iPad. They even did they do something for Motion, maybe, or something? And they said, we want to tell you from the beginning, please don't post anything about this on social media until we get to the end. So I had it, text ready to go in an X, the X platform. I didn't send it, but it said Final Cut Pro 11. Listen, we've been talking about, on this show, we've been talking about Final Cut Pro 11 since last May. For 6 months, we've been talking about Final Cut Pro 11 being the next update. Were we 100% positive? There's no way we could have been. We're not on the development team. We're not on the Final Cut Pro team. But for 6 months, we started talking about it in May of last year, that Final Cut Pro 11 was going to be the next big update after. No, actually, it was 10.8. After 10.8, I guess it was June. So anyway, 4 or 5 months we've been talking about Final Cut Pro 11, Final Cut Pro 11. You've seen the posters that I put out, Final Cut Pro 11, Final Cut Pro 11. And finally, it's here. Does it deserve the title of Final Cut Pro 11? I don't know if it deserves it. It is the title. Whether you think it's a big enough update to 11 is open to debate. And I'm not going to disagree with anybody's opinion one way or the other. The fact that Apple owns Final Cut Pro 10, Final Cut Pro, they can call it whatever they want. That's one of the main things. Final Cut Pro team. So they did something different this year for the Q&A. By the way, so this is the MacBook Pro microphone. Did anybody say anything? Let me see if anybody said anything. Okay, MacBook Pro mic is better. More fan noise, more treble on the Mac. Better. Your voice sounds better with the built-in mic, but has a lot of background room hiss. Okay, well, let's put it back over to the Boya mic. Here, that's back to the Boya mic. I don't want the... Let me see what it says here. So, yeah, they said MacBook Pro mic is better, but way more background noise. So I put it back to the Boya mic so we have less, we don't want background noise. As a matter of fact, yeah, so this one sounds okay. I mean, it's loud enough. It's just, I wanted to try different mics. So this is the Boya mic I'm using right now. So let me see if I can do this. Can I do okay. All right. Now we got, that's interesting. It's not going to let me do that. All right. We'll use the Boya mic. I don't want background noise and hiss in it because I do have the fan on running back there. I can hear it, but I wasn't sure if you could. Definitely better with MacBook Pro. Good evening, Richard. Let's kill this. I'm just going through some comments here. So who was the person yesterday that said that they had the inside scoop on the Final Cut Pro team and it was going to be the Final Cut Pro 11 was going to be subscription? I told you it was not going to be subscription. I was very, very confident of that fact. So no subscription, no mention of subscriptions. It would be a horrible, horrible time for them to do subscriptions at a Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Let me catch up on some of these comments. I was just wanted to check on the mic. I went back to the Boya mic because you said the background, you said the MacBook Pro mic sounds better, but it was a lot of fan noise. All right, let me put it back on again and you can tell me. All right, this is the MacBook Pro microphone once again. I'll leave it on. I think the majority of people said it sounded better, but there was a lot of fan noise, so it's maybe more sensitive to the fan noise. Let me know which mic you want me to use. I'll use whatever you tell me to. Let's go back to some of the comments. Oh boy. Will you be able to ask the Final Cut Pro team if we can get titles instead of just captions? I guess they've done something different this year for the Q&A. They want you to submit your questions in advance instead of just us popping up questions live. So we'll see how that works. I don't know if I'm going to submit one in advance. I'm not ready to upgrade from macOS 12. I had a bad experience with macOS 14 and Final Cut Pro 11 needs macOS 14 and up, but maybe this new Final Cut Pro will convince me. make a backup copy of your current version of Final Cut Pro. If you're doing mission critical stuff, make a copy of your whole operating system. Do a clone of your operating system so you can always go back. I think, does this time machine work with the operating system too? You can always go back if there's a problem. Don't regret buying Intelligent Assistant Caption plugin. I think it's different than that. I think there's it's a difference. Someone comments first when they think they're the first person to comment. Too bad they're actually the second. Oh, I see. I didn't realize what that meant. So Luke is at the summit. We talked to Final Cut Pro team about text-based editing, and it was well received. Where it goes, we don't know, of course. The elephant in the room, no audio mixer. Why is that an elephant, Eric? I don't think anybody said anything about an audio mixer except for me. I mean, I've talked about it for forever. It's on my list. Right now on my list is text-based editing and an audio mixer. There is an audio mixer inside of Final Cut. Okay? It's been there for a while. They haven't turned it on yet. Okay, they have not turned it on yet, but it's there, so they're working on it. Just like the scrolling timeline. They had the scrolling timeline for years inside of Final Cut. They didn't turn it on until last year. How many plugins were obsoleted today? I don't know. I didn't think about it. I mean, the magnetic mask, let me tell you, that demonstration was absolutely, I was blown away by how good it was, how fast it was, and how simple it was the way Final Cut Pro does it. So if you want to put like a color wheel mask on something in the viewer, add a color wheel, go up to the color wheel in the inspector, and then from the drop-down menu choose magnetic mask. And then you take your pointer over the object that you want to mask in the viewer, and it applies the mask automatically to whatever you select. And then you can hone it. You can hone it, of course, and then you analyze it, and it goes back and forth, and you can hone it. Pretty darn sophisticated, but simple to use. Now, have to see how it goes. I'm not trying out Final Cut Pro 11 yet because I'm not going to. I have Sequoia installed, but none of my plugins are installed. I don't know if Ecamm Live works in Sequoia properly or not, so I'm not going to do that while I'm here. But we'll have to see. Oh, you know what? I got the wrong glass. Let me go get my other glasses. Hold on a second. That's what the problem is. Do I have them here? I got my microphone so you can still hear me talk. Where are my glasses? Where they are? Let me see. Are you over there? Where are my glasses? Here they are. No, that's my wallet. Where are my glasses? Did I put them over here? Yes, I did. I got computer glasses and I got regular glasses. The computer glasses are, everything's a little bit blurry without these. Let me change these over real quick. There we go. Now I can see again. I can see the computer screen. So let me put those back in the case. So I guess there's going to be a difference of opinion, as usual on the internet. So 11, first off, it's here. Okay, it's called Final Cut Pro 11. We've been talking about it forever on, how do we do this? Here we go. We've been talking about this forever on Final Cut TV and Coffee for 90 episodes. I mean, not for 90 episodes, but since maybe June, July, something like that. We've been talking about Final Cut Pro 11. It wasn't 100% positive, but I was pretty confident it was going to be called Final Cut Pro 11, and it is called Final Cut Pro 11. They'll use the best possible examples for demos. I'm curious how it'll work in real world use. Of course, absolutely. I'm 100% agree with you. I got to see how it works. Is the MacBook Pro microphone working okay? The background noise isn't too bad. Too bad they've cut out Intel users. Well, you know, can't you see that in advance? I mean, I think most people understand that going forward, it's going to be M1 stuff. I got to catch up on the comments. Let me do that real quick. Expectations, MindWorks expanded compound clips on the timeline. Absolutely surprised they didn't release that today. That's a good point. That's something that I like to see myself, and that's something that's necessary. Really, I have B-Raw Toolbox, which is awesome, but native would be sweet. That was one of their moments at the end. They said, one more thing, with Sequoia and the new framework, B-Raw support in Final Cut can be used. I mean, it's either they said it's forthcoming, or Blackmagic is now able to do that if they want to do it. And of course, I would think they want to do it. So yes, that's one of the things they said, and that was a surprise, pleasant surprise. I don't shoot B-Raw. I've heard it from you for a long time. So this is Final Cut Pro 11, the foundation of a brand new version of Final Cut. No longer Final Cut Pro 10, no longer Final FCPX, FCP 11. Let's see what happens there. What is he doing? What in the world is this guy doing? I'm just going to go over here, and how was Event doing? You're kidding me, Michael. How's the event going? Oh, what else? I was just checking on my comments here. Anyway, so where was I? Talking about B-Raw. Better. So you like the MacBook Pro better. That's interesting. MacBook Pro mic is better. MacBook Pro mic is better. More fan noise, more treble on the Mac. Okay, we'll leave it on then if you bear with the fan noise. As a matter of fact, let me turn the fan off. Let me do that. The fan noise was not the MacBook Pro fan. It was my air conditioning fan, and I just turned it off. So it should sound better. That's good to know. I'll use the MacBook Pro mic for these live streams then. So everybody's saying the MacBook Pro mic, so we'll leave that on. Bruce, got to meet Bruce today. Bruce Babcock. Excellent presentation. I'm happy we made it to 11 and still no paid upgrade. So there's two things people were saying. Somebody on the stream yesterday was saying that they know the inside, they know the Final Cut Pro team on the inside, and there's going to be a subscription with Final Cut Pro 11. And I said, bullshit. Excuse my French. I said, no way that's going to happen at the Creative Summit. That would be an insurrection if that happened. I'm going to take this mic off since we're not using it. And so I turned the background noise up. That should be a lot better. Definitely better with the MacBook Pro. Isn't that amazing that the MacBook Pro, which is a foot away from my mouth, is better than a microphone this close? That's amazing. Good evening, Richard. We got it to 11. So here's the thing. There's a couple of things. Number one is we did, because we've been talking about 11 for, like I said, months. We've talked about it over and over again. I put 11 in the graphics multiple times. Was I 100% sure? No. But I was pretty darn sure. If I had to guess, I would say yes, it's going to be 11, as long as they have some good update features, which I think they did. 13 years of Final Cut Pro 10. It's a good point. And now it's Now it's Final Cut Pro 11, no longer Final Cut Pro 10. Let's kill the subscription rumors. Not going to happen. That's what I said yesterday. A video from Apple got posted to our Final Cut Pro. The magnetic mask is really great. I've been watching several videos. It's something that I wasn't sure that I'd be that interested in. Now I am. The way they did the magnetic mask, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I can see a lot of times that I will now be using it. Captionator is like $15 and can convert those auto captions to titles. Okay. Cutting out Intel chips is a bad idea. The OS is going to stop supporting Intel at some point, and they didn't just say, hey, we're going to cut out Intel chips. It has to do with the Mac OS. The Mac OS, whatever, it's more complicated than that. Eric says he likes ambient noise. Logic Pro, it was interesting because this is the Final Cut Pro Summit, but they demonstrated Logic Pro, I don't know, they demonstrated it first and they demonstrated it quite a bit. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is really talking about musicians, and this is not really the audience, but it was fine. They built up tension in the room by putting Final Cut, everything before Final Cut. We sat there probably 15, 20 minutes in the dark while they were getting ready to go do the presentation. Ooh. Final Cut Pro team, if you're reading this, we need titles and keyframe editors. Well, you know the Final Cut Pro team is watching this. Absolutely, they're watching this. To the Final Cut Pro team, absolutely. They were probably went home and started. So when's Richard coming back on? I'm switching my vote to the Boya mic. Okay. Let's see what this says. Try it first on the Mac Pro running Sequoia before upgrading Sonoma on my MacBook Pro. Well, before you do either one of those things, make sure you back up your copy of Final Cut Pro, and I would recommend making a carbon copy clone of your operating system and everything. Magnetic mask is equal to stem splitter in Logic. They did good work. So I have a question for the Logic team. The question is, where in the heck is voice isolation in Logic? Where is voice isolation in Logic? I still don't think it's there. It's in Final Cut Pro. It's in LumaFusion has it. It's available to anybody. Why isn't it in Logic? Unless it's snuck in and we don't know about it. Listen, they came up with the Logic presentation, and they said there's 120 new things that's happening with Logic, or something like that. Over 100 new things in the Logic Pro update 11.1. That's a lot of features, but we've seen that in the past where Logic has numerically more features and improvements than Final Cut does. What's suspicious to me is that Apple Motion didn't get magnetic mask. Oh, that's interesting. And is it Apple Motion 5.9 and not 6? Yes, that's correct. It's not 6. Hopefully it means some version of 6 with more features is coming. That's what I'd presume. But you're still on the Mac mic. Yes, I'm still on the Mac mic. I thought that's what everybody said sounded better. Magnetic mask is crazy faster than M-Roto AI. Well, I wouldn't buy that stuff from M-Roto, especially if it's subscription. I say Final Cut Pro 11 deserves lots of smaller features in this that will help workflow. So here's the two things that I really like, smaller things, exactly what Eric's talking about. Number one is vertical zoom. So you can bring all your timelines. This, if they're all spread out and you got to scroll up and down, you can bring them all to, they zoom in. So you can see everything just like horizontal zoom, but vertical. That's one. And the other one is moving the clip up in the hierarchy with a keyboard shortcut. So you can take a clip and select it and move it up and down with the keyboard shortcut. That's a good point. I didn't know that. I didn't pay attention. Why isn't the magnetic mask in motion? Very good point. My personal difference, mask matte, is surely obsolete now. Any news on 180 immersive footage? Adding spatial is great, but I really need 180 to edit immersive content. It wasn't that the Blackmagic camera that's supposed to film that? They need the camera to film available before they can release that feature, because if there's no footage, no sense in releasing it. Any news on 180? We just answered that. Michael Y. Hi, Richard. Is that Michael Yanovich? I don't know. I use the difference mode to turn the background black and then extracted the results into an alpha channel, applied to a copy of the original footage overlaid on itself. That is better now that the fan is off. Yeah, the fan was my room fan, not the MacBook Pro fan. This MacBook Pro fan rarely comes on. I don't even think so. I love that they went to 11, been a long time coming, and signals for a strong future. So this is the whole idea. This is no longer Final Cut Pro 10. This is now Final Cut Pro 11, and this is the beginning of Final Cut Pro 11. So let's give them credit where credit is due, don't you think, for that part? I'm still a little bit on East Coast time. Oh, that's an interesting point. Bruce Babcock says we should have had this on Monday, 11/11 for Final Cut Pro 11. There you go. I've also loved the frequency and quality of the updates over the past year and a half or so. So, okay, the last year, 10.7 came out a year ago. And then we didn't get anything for 6 months. And then we got 10.8. Now we waited another 5 months, and now we got 11. So we've only had not that many updates in the last year or so. Feature updates. But now that 11's here, let's see what happens. Thank you for your coverage. Final Cut Pro 11 is pretty awesome. I like it. My expectations were a little low. No, they definitely went back up to the middle area. Exactly the same as what happened at the last Creative Summit. I entered the summit with lower expectations, and they brought it right up to the middle. They did the same thing this time again. Came in with, what are they going to do? We don't know. And then they brought it up with today's presentation. Random comment, Richard. Why do you always look good? I've never seen you wearing a t-shirt. So there's a couple of things about t-shirt and jackets with me. I went to a private school when I was growing up, and we had to wear jackets. We had to wear suit jackets or blazers or whatever they call them. So I did that for 9 years, and I was just used to it, and I liked it. Number one is I have pockets. Lots of pockets. Inside pocket, shirt pocket, and then two pockets I can put things in. That's one of the other things. Plus, I like them. So I like shirt jackets. As far as not wearing t-shirts, I wear t-shirts sometimes, but I'll wear a blue jean jacket And certainly I wear them around the house. But as far as presentation goes, I've seen people occasionally come on these things, and the shirt's all wrinkled and stuff. And I'm like, didn't you look in the mirror before you came on? Now, some people look good in a t-shirt, but I like regular shirts better, personally, for presentation. If I'm filming outside or something, a little different. It's summertime. Yeah, great. A new foundation for a great future. That's what I'm kind of thinking. We'll have to see how it goes. But I understand if you're not, if you have a different opinion. Being able to hide clips, that's another thing. Being able to hide clips and move things on a timeline vertically is very nice. Yeah, be able to hide clips is really cool. Hide and unhide clips. Option Arrow Plus. I'm not sure what that's referencing, Mr. Eric. Tell me what that means. Did they discuss the Final Cut camera app? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So there's three things that why I won't use the Final Cut camera app. Number one is no LUT support. That was kind of taken care of because now you can preview with Apple built-in LUT. Number two was no Apple log HEVC. They addressed that too. Now there is Apple log HEVC. So the last thing that the Final Cut camera team has to do is add the ability to switch lenses while recording. When I show people how easy that's done on the native camera app, and they say, wait, Final Cut camera can't do this? I said, no, it cannot. You have to stop recording, switch lenses, and then start recording every single time you want to change a lens while you're recording live. And doing that costs you seconds. So every time you do that, it takes seconds out of your flow, out of your video. And when I'm filming live, I do that all the time. When I'm filming, not live, just filming in the street, the farmer's market, etc., I change lenses all the time. I don't want to stop the recording, switch the lens, start recording again. Don't want to do that, so I won't use Final Cut camera until they fix that. And hide original clips from a multi-clam sequence. Yes, exactly. Yes, this is Michael Yanovich. Michael, how you doing? It was a very good summit. The president, you wouldn't believe, maybe you would, but you wouldn't believe how much better the aesthetics of the presentation were this year. Last year, nothing wrong with the presentation. It was very good, but it was in like a classroom. Just tables, just chairs, flat on the surface, ceiling lighting, and then a little elevated stage. This was in a theater. You walk in and it's really dark. There's music playing. There's great graphics. The screen was like completely wide. And we sat there for like maybe a half hour waiting for them to come on. So the anxiety built up, the anticipation built up. It was leaps and bounds, probably the best presentation they've ever given. Most professional, best produced that they've ever given for Final Cut Pro summits. And I think they're onto something with that. I think this is part of the whole deal. They're promoting Final Cut Pro now. It's past your bedtime, go to sleep. I am tired, Michael. Let me tell you, I'm on East Coast time. What time is it? 7:52, so it's 8 o'clock. So it's 11 o'clock for me. Back on the East Coast, I've been sleeping for 3 or 4 hours. The R5C has been shooting 8K 60p 180 immersive video for 2 years. Okay, that's good to know. The footage is there. We just need Final Cut to support it. Coal black. It's an interesting icon that you have representing yourself. So let me just talk about this for a second. Maybe the Logic Pro presentation is foreshadowing the future where version of Logic is integrated in Final Cut and then those audio features get more important to the app. Apple has said all along that Logic is an app for making music. It's not a post-production app like Pro Tools, so it's not going to head that way. It's just for making music. It's for musicians making music, although you can make soundtracks with it for Final Cut, which is fine. I use it for all kind of audio stuff. Anything advanced audio, I use Logic. I'll figure out a way to use it. If I want to use it for non-musical stuff, I use it for my podcast, Final Cut Pro Radio. I cut it in Logic. It's not music; it's just dialogue. I cut it in Logic. So you can use it, but they look at it as a musician slash music app to make music. Is 11 available to install tonight? Yes, it's supposed to be available. They were a little tricky with us. What they did was at the beginning they said, please don't take screenshots. Do not post on social media until we get to the end and we'll explain. Well, they got to the end and they said, well, I know you want to know when this update's going to be available. And then the next screen was, it's available right now. So they didn't want us to post before Apple.com got a chance to get their article up and stuff and get the support articles up. So speaking of that, I took some footage today and I'll put some clips together for tomorrow morning. We will continue this conversation tomorrow morning. Don't get me wrong, we're not anywhere close to being done. This is just tomorrow morning. I mean, we'll come back tomorrow morning and we'll discuss it more once I go to sleep and et cetera, and I'll bring some more footage in. Let me go over here to just what I can show you. Now, the thing is, if I took footage at the Spaceship Campus, you're not supposed to. If I did, I can't show you because you can't post it on social media. So if I did take it, I can't show you. Let's just say that. But I could take footage outside, but not inside. That's what they were supposed to say. This is the opening presentation this morning. And I'll just play a little clip here.
I'm Steve, this is my partner Mark, we're from Ripple Training, and we're super glad to be here and really glad to have a bunch of new people here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Session-wise, we're doing tomorrow morning at the first one in Final Cut, doing some amazing workflow stuff. You don't want to miss it. Mark might pop into that as well. And so I've been teaching Final Cut. I can't believe I just posted on Facebook. I've been teaching Final Cut for 25 years. So it's 25 years. Anyway, so yeah, my daughter was really little when I was doing this, so I brought my daughter Kate with her, so say hi. Kate's here. I think one of the sessions, I'm going to do a live multi-can event with her.
What are you drinking? So that's the first little clip from this morning from the presentation. I have a second clip with Jen Jager we'll play in a minute, interaction with her. And then the third clip I'm going to play for tonight is us going into here. We went to the Developers Center. That's where the theater was. The buses dropped us off there, and I'm saying, this is not the Spaceship Camp. I call it the Spaceship. This is not Apple Park. What's going on? And I said, well, maybe they're just using this for the theater presentation because they didn't do theater last year, but I said they should have, and they did. And that's exactly what it was. So the Developer Center Theater, you go outside the Developer Center, and basically you walk across the street or walk somewhere and you're at the Spaceship Campus, the entrance to the Spaceship Campus. So, is 11 available to install tonight? Yes, it is. You have to go to bed there, Richard. You have an extra bed there, Richard. You should share the hotel with a friend who's going to the Creative Summit as well, so you'll have more money. I forgot to mention this. Let me do it right now. Thank you very much. The two sponsors that I have for the Creative Summit are FMC and Coremelt. Roger Bolton, Coremelt, and FMC. So I don't have to worry about those expenses. I don't have to worry about those expenses. And I'm glad of that. I'll leave these up because they're both great companies and they both support me and support me coming to the Creative Summit. They upped their game for 11 as they should. Good comment there, Mr. Eric. So it's an interesting update. It's a very interesting update. Like I said, this is the beginning of Final Cut Pro 11. No more Final Cut Pro 10. This is Final Cut Pro 11. Let me just double check that. The stream should be doing a little better today. The stream should be doing a little better today. These are great sponsors, FMC and Coremelt. Sounds amazing. Sorry I missed it. Michael, it was great seeing you last year. I just enjoy when you come around. I really like it. But everything's really cool, but the presentation this year was through the roof compared to last year, it was good, but the room and the atmosphere and all. This year we went to this great theater, the Developer Center. It was really exceptional. Great graphics, nice presentation. So it seems like the Final Cut Pro team is going to be doing some promotional videos for Final Cut because they did that one. The one that's on the Apple website is the one we saw in person. Captions only for English right now. That's just right now. They said that specifically. Of course, they'll add more languages as time goes on. Was the team Gen 1 excited about Final Cut Pro 11? Absolutely. Lots of enthusiasm for it. Lots of it, absolutely. Michael says 11 is out now. I'm cutting with it while I watch this stream. Now I'm gonna wait till I go back home because I don't want to mess up Ecamm Live and stuff. I can't. I have Sequoia on this machine, but none of my plugins are loaded over. My email's not on there, so I'm gonna wait till I get back home. By the way, my Mac Mini is waiting for me at the house, so I'll see it on Saturday. My new Mac Mini Pro. That thing is tiny. They had one there at the demos thing. It's this tiny little thing. And it's so powerful. It's got Thunderbolt 5. I can't wait. I was about to buy the VFX plug just for the rotoscope, and now with Final Cut Pro 11, it works amazing for me thanks to Apple. Absolutely. It's amazing to see that in action when somebody knows what they're doing. Absolutely amazing. Very useful for all kinds of things. I was surprised at the late update, dreaded it would be available at the end of the month. So did I. Absolutely. They tricked us. They said, please don't post any screenshots, don't post on social media. We'll explain it at the end. Well, the explanation was it's out now, so now you can go ahead and talk about it. So now you can go ahead and talk about it. Share the picture of you with your feet up on Tim Cook's desk. I always make jokes about going to Tim Cook's office. Glad they sponsored you. Yeah, I have sponsors every year. Going to the summit and going to NAB, which is good. I'm glad people find my brand valuable enough. They want to be on the live streams, and here they are. They're both. Let me tell you something. Kudos to FMC and Apple and the Final Cut Pro team. Kudos to all of you. Now, this is supposed to be graffiti, No, no balloons. Graffiti. There we go. I don't know why balloons come up sometimes and then graffiti comes up the rest of the time. So when I get home, I'll go back to my hardware trigger, but I don't have that with me, so I have to use the hand gestures things. So this does what? No, this, there, the explosions or 4th of July things. There you go. 2 thumbs up, that's what it does. Updating Mac OS to 15.1 on the MacBook Pro now. Next, Final Cut Pro 11, backups of Final Cut Pro X on the MacBook Pro. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for the continued updates. You're more than welcome. Thank you for tuning into that. Was Messman there? You know Messman by last name. Yes, Sam was there. And they'll probably, tomorrow night is the expo night. Okay, we're downstairs and they have all the vendors and stuff. And I'll do a live stream from down there because I do it every year. And you'll get to see the live stream at the Creative Summit as it happens. I've tested out my live streaming camera and it works with my cell phone connection. So we will have the live stream tomorrow night, probably about 7 o'clock, something like that. I think it starts at 6:30 or 6:45, and I'll test it out, fire it up. I got to bring my laptop down there and stuff, so I got to get a table early. Any mention of ProRes RAW in DaVinci? No mention of that. It just wasn't the DaVinci Creative Summit, and that's going to be up to whatever. But B-RAW is coming, or I'm a little confused. I think they said B-RAW can now be done in Final Cut, but it's up to Blackmagic to do whatever last bit of stuff they have to do. I think that's what they said. But the framework is now available in Sequoia where they can do B-RAW, or they're already working on it. Something they mentioned B-RAW specifically is coming to Final Cut or whatever can now be done in Final Cut. So not the other way around. No, they just said B-RAW. They've been very tricky about that. Very, very, very tricky. Look at all these thumbs up we're getting. Fantastic. All these viewers. Did they spend much time on Final Cut for iPad? Yeah, they did some time. One of the things they did, they brought over from Final Cut Pro the automatically enhanced color correction that Final Cut Pro has. They brought that over to the iPad because it didn't have it. That did not have it. So yes, they did. They spent a lot of time on the other products, on Logic and Final Cut for iPad before they brought on Final Cut. So Bill Davis came on first, talked about Final Cut Pro generically, and then they brought on Logic Pro and they brought on iPad Pro, and they must have done Final Cut Camera, I think, a little bit, and Motion maybe. I can't remember. They said they updated Motion to whatever it was, 0.9 or something. Oh, here's my 2 credentials. One for the Creative Summit and one for Apple, to get into Apple. Where are they in focus? There they are. Focus. So, generally, are you excited about Final Cut 11? I am. I can't wait to give it a shot. I'm looking forward to getting home. Because like I said, I don't have my plugins or anything here. So, I'm not going to do it here. Have a good one, Richard. I'm headed to sleep. Is that what that is? We'll try to tune in tomorrow. Okay, well, probably tomorrow will be 6-ish in the morning, 6 a.m., maybe 7 a.m. at the latest. We'll be back on, and I'll be asleep, and I'll capture some more footage. As a matter of fact, let me play another clip.
Miss it, Mark might pop into that as well. And so I've been teaching Final Cut. I can't believe I just posted on Facebook. I've been teaching Final Cut for 25 years. So it's 25 years. Anyway, so yeah, my daughter was really little when I was doing this, so I brought my daughter Kate with her, so say hi, Kate's here. One of the sessions, I'm going to do a live multi-cam event with her.
What are you drinking, Jen?
Little Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts looks like Coke.
No, well, it's the ice melted. It's just a black cold brew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not Coke.
Very good.
It's a little early for Coke.
Did you have a good trip here?
I did. Did you?
I came from the East Coast.
Me too.
You did?
Yeah, from
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
That's right.
And you're from? Tell me again. I forget.
Baltimore, Washington.
That's right, Washington D.C.
There. And that's getting ready to go into. Actually, you know what? That's not Apple Park. That is across the street from Apple Park, going into the Developer Center. Developer Center. That's that entrance. A little confusing at the beginning. B-roll would be awesome. All my friends and colleagues film mostly B-roll. That's actually my most favorite feature in the trailer. I liked a lot. Thomas Griffith Carter cut that one. I didn't see the trailer, but yes, that's one of the things they said at the end. You know, the way Steve Jobs used to like walk off stage and go, "Oh, one more thing," and then he'd come back on and say something important. Sponsors of the Creative Summit for me, for Final Cut TV, for coming around. And I want to make sure you support both of these companies. Cormelt, Roger Bolton's Cormelt, and FMC, of course, who's very, very, they're the ones that are putting this event on, them and Apple. So I want to make sure both of them get applause. Absolutely. Both of them get applause. We want to make sure both of them get applause. Thanks for doing a live stream for us. Thank you very much. I had another, I ate again over there at the burger place because everybody that supports me over there at buymeacoffee.com. Richard Taylor, if you like these live streams and stuff, if you don't mind going over there and buying me a coffee, even if it's not spent on coffee, it's spent on hamburgers, French fries. I got a steak something or other today, and some French fries. Had a another good lunch. Now tomorrow lunch is being provided, so I won't be going out to lunch. Any sessions you interested in now that everything is introduced? Sure, Michael Cioni doing a keynote tomorrow morning. Absolutely. All of them look interesting. Steve Martin, Mark Spencer, Ian Anderson. Chris Hawking's doing one. It's about something, I forget what it is. Jen Jager, of course, is doing a couple. Nick Haraz is doing some. They're all going to be good. You have to pick out which one. I'll try to film a little bit of each one. I haven't even used my I haven't even used my Lumix S5 Mark IIX yet. I'm definitely going to use it tomorrow, though. Since I brought it, I want to shoot something in 6K with, a full frame camera. The update is available on Sonoma and Sequoia, but some of the things require Sequoia. Some of the things in the update, Final Cut Pro 11, require Sequoia. As a matter of fact, let's go over here. Let's just go over here. Let's do this. So here's the good old update. Make myself small. Final Cut Pro User Guide. Final Cut Pro for Mac. 11.0. What's new in Final Cut Pro? Magnetic Mask. I like this, add a magnetic mask to a video effect in Final Cut Pro. So you can go to a video effect like the color wheels, add magnetic mask, and just apply it to a clip. Oh, you know what? Wrong audio. There we go. Now we're back to the MacBook Pro. So let's just look at this stuff. Transcribe the captions. Requires macOS Sequoia or later. See, that one requires, even though you can load Final Cut 11 on your Mac, you still need Sequoia for transcribe to captions. That's what I thought. Ooh. Workflow improvements, vertical zoom to fit. I really like that feature. And also you can move a clip up and down in the hierarchy of hierarchy of storylines with the keyboard shortcut now. So that's really good. And vertical zoom to fit, you guys know what that is because that's pretty self-explanatory. And now you can also hide clips in the browser to declutter your view. That's a very, very cool feature. This is it, the media extensions. Media extensions feature built into Mac OS will work with more video formats. This is where the B-RAW is going to happen. This is what they were talking about. Media extension feature built into Mac OS. So, oh, there's also this your new editing with new call out and picture-in-picture effects. I thought the picture call out or picture-in-picture was from Final Cut for iPad, if I'm not mistaken. They brought it over to the Mac version. Yeah, there's some other things here I'm not sure about that we're gonna have to wait on for the next day or two. Compressor has an update too, absolutely, 4.9. Modular transitions. They've used some interesting words, that's for sure, in this. There it is. Minimum system requirements is Mac OS Sonoma 14.6. The transcribe to captions and media extensions features require Mac OS Sequoia or later. For more information, go to the tech page. There you go. There you go. What do you think? What do you think about Final Cut Pro 11? Are you glad we're seeing it? I know I am, for sure. Let's see here. There we go. Another thumbs up. Fantastic. It's appreciated. BuyMeACoffee.com is another way you can appreciate what I do. Absolutely. Let me just change this over to, there we go. FMC Core Melts. Two very good companies that support me coming to the Creative Summit. This is always good. Backups made and printed, or archived, I should say. Backups made and archived. Very good. I'm still a bit disappointed. It's completely understandable. It's completely understandable. but overall happy it got support. Still not the features I care, but it's a step in the right direction. That's a good attitude to have, even if you don't think that Final Cut Pro 11 is whatever. I'm telling you, it looks really good, and this is the beginning of Final Cut Pro 11. This is just the very first step to Final Cut Pro 11 land. So that's very, very interesting as far as I am concerned. Oh, making myself tired watching myself yawn on TV. And if you're disappointed, it's understandable. It's completely understandable. Right back. Oh my goodness. There we go. So anyway, tomorrow is Thursday and then Friday of training and stuff. And I'll be filming I'll try to get 5 or 10 minutes of each of the sessions. And tomorrow night I'm planning on streaming live so you can see the expo. That's what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I could not get the streaming camera that I have, Mevo Cam, I was having problems getting into the Wi-Fi, so I put it on my Wi-Fi my cellular connection, and it seemed to work okay, so that's what I'll be doing. Any other comments about Final Cut Pro 11? That's that one, and I go to this side, then this one comes up on the other side. There we go. That's the normal one. There's a few things maybe they didn't cover. We'll have to see. I think people keep asking about titles versus captions. This was an interesting tidbit. Tell me what I'm missing here. It says captions are always connected clips. Okay, I accept that. Captions can also be connected to other connected clips. I did not know that you can connect a caption to a clip. It just says connected clip that's not in the primary storyline. Is that what I'm reading there, that you can connect a caption clip to another clip that's not connected to the primary storyline? A clip? Very interesting if that's the case. Yeah. Alrighty, I think I'm going to get out of here because I am getting really super tired. There we go. I'm going to say I'm going to be back tomorrow morning, maybe 6, something like that. It'd be good to connect captions to VoiceOver track. I agree, but I think you can only connect clips to clips that are in the main storyline, right? That's what it used to be. This is if I'm reading it properly. If I'm reading it properly, is saying that you can captions are always connected clips. Captions can also be connected to other connected clips, which means they wouldn't have to be on the main storyline. If I'm reading that correctly. That's what I'm thinking. Let me just go here so you can see it. This is from the manual, so if that's accurate, that's what's going to happen. Good night. Let me just here, got this one back up over here. Good night. Thank you for the coverage. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I agree. I agree. So there's two things. No subscriptions. No subscriptions for Final Cut Pro 11. And it's also, once again, free. There's no fee involved. But I thought they said their Final Cut Pro numbers are going up. So I thought somebody mentioned that. I'm going to have to wait and see tomorrow morning if that's the case. So thanks everybody for showing up. We want to make sure that we give proper accolades to the Final Cut Pro team, FMC, and in this case Cormelt as well, because without them this event wouldn't happen. So they're doing home runs here with this, doing iMovie also updated. There you go. There you go. Now when I get back home Saturday, I'll rest up, depending on how I feel. I'll wait till Sunday morning probably, get up, get coffee, and open my MacBook Pro up, and hopefully, here's what I'm hoping, get my not MacBook Pro, my Mac Mini Pro, I'm hoping I disconnect everything from my MacBook Pro, HDMI, docks, and other FireWire device, anything else I have, not FireWire, but Thunderbolt connections, and then I plug it back into the Mac Mini and everything works fine. That's what I'm hoping. Not too much trouble. Stability and performance improvements. Absolutely. That sounds like something coming from Apple. It's an interesting place. It's a really interesting place. I'm really glad we got to go again this time. Stability and performance improvements. Absolutely. Any other comments about Final Cut Pro 11? Yay? Do you like it? Of course you do. Of course you do. Get a free update after all these years. We're going on to our 14th year. It's phenomenal. It's unheard of in the software industry. But we're going to get that. I'll download. I don't think I'm going to download it. I think I'm going to wait till I get home. I don't have to worry about it that way. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for watching, tuning in. Don't forget you can buy me a coffee over there. buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. It's appreciated, each and every one. I still got some more coffees to get, some more hamburgers to buy, French fries, etc. Morning from Oslo. What did I miss? Final Cut Pro 11's out. Is that something that you're concerned about? But it's out. They tricked us, but it came out right at the end of the demonstration. Phenomenal. I'm going to get out of here for tonight. buymeacoffee.com for supporting these live streams while I'm at the summit. I'd appreciate anything you can consider. I'm going to go to bed. I'm on East Coast time and I'm falling asleep, and I will see each and every one of you tomorrow. Don't forget our great sponsors, FMC and Core Melt. Both of them are good sponsors. They both should be on chains because so that way somebody can't escape her. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's give these to the Final Cut Pro team. No, not that. No. How come I get balloons sometimes? And there we go. And also each and every one of you, we got Final Cut Pro 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll have some more fun. Continue our discussion about Final Cut Pro. Talk to you later.